Hey, before we kick things off, we got to talk about the presenting sponsor of this show. That's none other than the great tasting, less filling Miller Lite. Shout out to them, man. I'm excited. It's gonna have NFL action, obviously tonight, Saturday, Sunday, and just beer, watching football, especially now that our team is back into the hunt. It's going to be a nice weekend full of football and Miller Lite.
I pre-stocked my fridge. I bought a case last weekend. I bought another case yesterday. I had it delivered.
You know what else is big this weekend too? Christmas parties.
Oh yeah,
yes.
This is Christmas party season.
So bring that case of Miller to that Christmas
party. Put a little bow on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a nice gift.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, put some wrapping paper on it while you're at it.
No, I don't do wrapping paper.
No?
I do. Yeah, I don't like to. I'm not good at it.
I'm an expert rapper, so I like to
not
show
surprising.
It off.
You know what's great too? Is even if you forget it to bring it there, you get it delivered right to that door. You can make it Miller time all season long when you get Miller Lite delivered right to your door. Visit MillerLite.com/Redline, or you can find it pretty much anywhere that they sell beer. Just make sure you celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories, 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces. Go drink your Miller Lite. All right, man, welcome to the Mid Show, presented by Miller Lite. Regular crew today. It's myself. We got White Sox Dave. We got Chief. We got Danny on the couch. We got Danny Lance behind the ones and twos. Dave, how are you?
Good.
All right, Danny.
Good. Period.
Chief.
I mean, I guess I'll go last. I'm doing well.
I'm charged up.
Why are you charged up?
Because me and Danny, Danny and Lance, we just got back from Cosmc. It's going to be on our YouTube tomorrow, so please like and subscribe to Barstool Chicago YouTube.
I don't think most people know what Cosmc is.
Okay.
You
so
better.
I didn't even. I had to keep googling like, what the fuck is this?
It's a big deal. So Cosmc just opened their first location in Bolingbrook, Illinois. Cosmc is a spinoff of McDonald's. It seems like they're trying to compete in the Starbucks Dunkin' space, where it's like a breakfast kind of place. They're open like 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. And it's a lot of like refresher kind of drinks.
Energy boosters.
Yes. Coffees.
Different frappuccinos.
They got Egg McMuffins, David.
I was about to ask.
They got mini hash browns.
Mini hash browns.
Okay, talk to me.
They got pretzel bites.
Are we talking like little like
how
tater tots or
like how Burger
mini,
King used to do it, like individual
quarters?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, the quarter, a little bigger than a quarter. I say silver dollar. Dave.
Silver dollars. Okay.
Sand dollar.
Yeah, sand dollar, if you will. Sure. They got
sand dollars are big.
These mini donuts with like hazelnut and shit in the middle, cookie butter.
The munchkins.
You like that?
Now I gotta ask.
I'm not gonna tell you. You're gonna have to watch.
You're gonna have to watch,
That's
subscribe, and
teaser.
comment, Chief.
I'll watch.
What enticed you to go out to McDonald's spinoff?
Because it's very rare that a brand like McDonald's could be launching something and only really people nearby have access to it.
When was the last time McDonald's or any of these big chains like innovated something?
Yeah.
This is like, that doesn't happen. It's like, we
it's a
might
big
change
move.
the menu a little bit, but to
tinker.
open up a whole other.
But it's genius.
style.
I'm pretty sure Starbucks and Dunkin' are like both in the top 10 of fast food. And it's just
shaking
like
in
a
the
coffee
they are.
place.
Yeah.
But they can just get the residuals of what people get with their coffee.
And I think the Starbucks, and I'll say Dunkin' too, their food stinks. McDonald's does breakfast very well.
McDonald's breakfast king. Everyone knows that.
Yeah.
You know?
And I will say, I love the logo, the single arch, the Cosmc. It reminds me of Planet Pizza from Toy Story a little bit. It's very cool.
bit.
When Ed brought this up, I thought he was taking us to laser tag or something, and I was excited.
They should, instead of a ball pit, they should have laser tag.
It'd be awesome.
I was expecting like a 70s themed McDonald's.
Yeah,
Cosmc.
We waited for an hour.
Did you go inside or just drive through?
Inside was not open.
Okay.
All it was drive through. They had 4 drive-through lines. They had 3 windows to pull up to. It was very unique. It was very interesting.
Is today the grand opening?
It was Monday, so it's only been
this week.
Today. We're recording this on Wednesday. Today is only the 3rd day it was open. They said earlier in the week their line was 4 hours long to get your food. We got lucky. An hour, we're like, that was fine, and it's obviously for content.
Who is waiting 4 hours to eat anything?
It's the
Dave,
only one in the world.
Anything.
Dave,
I've had smoothies before or whatever they're hawking.
Dave.
It's about the experience.
Yes.
But
was it worth it?
Dude, like that's a lot of people who can't possibly have a job.
It is interesting, right?
Yeah. Well, what are they doing for 4 hours on a Monday?
Dude, not anymore.
Wait.
Everyone works from home.
Talk to me
Yeah,
about
that's true. Someone just had their laptop on their lap.
on their fucking
just moving the
hotspot.
mouse.
Yeah.
Guess.
Talk to me about pricing.
We ordered 9 beverages. We ordered 2 mini hash browns, 2
McBox donuts or whatever, McBoxers.
Yeah, 2 like McDonuts or whatever they're like little donuts with like filled with like hazelnut and shit.
2 pretzel bites.
2 pretzel bites, 1 spicy queso sandwich, and 1
basil, avocado, tomatillo.
avocado tomatillo breakfast
I'm not
sandwich.
sure
as
how
well.
I feel about pretzel bites as a breakfast item.
I don't really think. I mean, like that's maybe like their afternoon like snack.
Okay.
You know?
Brunch.
Yeah, like you got
How late are they open?
8 p.m.
Okay. So they're open all day, basically.
So all that cost us, guess.
$30.
Oh, I mean, that was a lot. We
No,
need
no,
9
9
drinks.
drinks. I'm saying like $200. No, 9 drinks and then food.
Yeah, that's a fair
Yeah,
guess
10
than yours.
I
10.
thought 200 was a better guess than 30 for sure.
Yeah, 30. What the fuck? That's
10.
a
I'm
lot of
thinking like
McDonald's already.
9 coffees.
Chief, your 16-foot sub isn't costing 30.
All right, this is my math.
That was wrong.
10 drinks or 9
I
drinks
was
at
uncalled
$10
for.
a pop. That's about $100 with tax.
Why would they be $10 a pop for a drink?
Smooth. I'm thinking like smoothie. Are we talking just black coffee?
They were all smalls. Yeah, some smoothie.
Okay, so
some
call
refreshers.
$5. That's $50.
See, I would have guessed. I was thinking like the McDonald's coffee. If you're getting a small coffee,
so I'll
it's
guess like
99 cents.
$120.
Good guess. I paid $83 and change, so it was like
Okay.
$84 rounded up.
So I was closer to him when he said $200. I was $50 off. He was always $120
I was
off.
taking-
You guys are fucking.
No.
Everyone just shit on whatever I say nonstop. That I was closer.
30
than
is a
he
dumber
was.
guess.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
it was
it is.
closer
That's
to the
not-
It was
number.
still a worse guess.
That's
Why
not
is it
us.
a
That's
worse
not what we're
guess?
saying, Dodo.
Because-
We're saying we would have guessed too when we got in the car.
We thought it was breaking 100
Yeah,
easily.
we're not saying the end result. We're
I
saying-
was closer than him. My guess is better.
I was also like they're talking about like by the sounds of it like a ritzy. Like
Ritzy?
Jamba Juice is expensive. You're spending $10 on a smoothie at Jamba
No,
Juice.
it's not like the
Not ritzy, but
the
like
small drink was. We got all smalls, and it was they were all like 5 and change.
I was
So,
going large, so
it
I was going
like,
10. So I
it's
was
probably
kind of
like,
close.
like Starbucks prices. But
yeah,
no,
but that'd be like, guess how much this fancy hot dog was. And say it's like $10. Dave guesses $19, and you said $1. That's a crazier guess. It being
yes,
$1.
that maybe like 3, Danny.
3.
Yeah.
I was thinking small coffee prices. This is a coffee breakfast place and a few snacks. I didn't think you guys.
He said 9 drinks though, not 9 coffees.
9
That's why
drinks.
I said
But
it's
9.
this guy, you know what? You
I
never
was-
watch Price is Right. That's probably
They-
why.
No,
I would've
I
lost.
would have won on Prices Right. You fucking dummy.
He's right about
But
that.
still,
Yeah,
the guessing
I'm right on
estimated.
any which way you slice it.
No,
I
you're
was
not.
right.
Your guess was worse, even though it was technically more correct.
That is true.
That's
That
the
is
best way to
absolutely
put
true.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is, I don't even know why I argue
$35
with you
for
guys.
9 drinks. What?
Yeah, that's
Less
cra-
than
that-
$1 a drink?
That's insane.
If
Think
they're
about that.
small
Think about that.
coffees and this is a coffee place, I don't. And these little refreshers, they're a $1 or $2 a piece.
No,
With the
what?
small coffees at McDonald's, I haven't been to McDonald's for coffee in a long time. They used to be like $1 a piece.
But like, yeah, candy bars used to be $1 too.
This guy's been living in a locker since
Yeah,
inflation
yeah,
started.
he-
My guess was closer. I don't have to defend it any more
absolute
than I already
idiot.
have. No, I'm closer. You guys are idiots. You can't do math.
All right, whatever. We ranked them based on 5: excellent, good, average, bad, and terrible. There were terribles. There were excellents. So you will see.
How many? All 3 you ranked them?
Just me and
Okay, so
Danny
were
Conrad.
they
Lance did some stuff too,
kind of
but,
unanimous? Like the terribles were terrible and the
me and Danny were pretty much on the same page. We had a couple differences.
Yeah.
Surprise, surprise.
At
What?
least one off. So if he said terrible, I said bad, vice versa.
I mean, you two are 2 peas in a pod, so
Yeah.
that makes.
But like you
no,
could
not
say,
with food.
but yeah, not with food, I would say. But then in the same way, like Lance, like he did some stuff. I don't know if it'll make the video or not, but he like was pretty liberal with his grades because he's a
He's a nice boy.
yeah, and he's like that he's Gen Z, you know.
Yeah, dessert
Yeah.
drinks.
Some of them are good. Some of them are really sugary.
Some of them are really good. Yeah.
They
What
were
was
hating
the-
on some.
Are you going to give us any insight to what was graded
Nope.
terrible?
You got to watch the video. You got to watch our YouTube channel, and you should watch our Naperville house that we toured. That was $10.5 million 2 weeks ago.
People are like, that's not the most rich, expensive house in Naperville.
So
It's the most expensive
one
house
on
on
the
the
market.
market, you
Yeah,
dumbasses.
and guess what? That's how you YouTube, folks.
Yeah.
You got
Yeah,
to
you fucking idiots.
You got to embellish. You got to do that.
$10.5 million is a lot of money.
That's a lot.
That's an
I
expensive house.
bet there's been houses sold for double that in Naperville.
Sure.
No,
Yeah.
no, there hasn't.
I wouldn't be surprised, I should say. I wouldn't bet it.
For
Double.
22.
YouTubers are just desensitized. 10.5 doesn't do it for them anymore.
Maybe. Then after, let me continue with my day for you guys.
You did come in kind of chipper today. And
Well, you're about to hear why. This is
Here's
why I said good period at the start.
Did we talk about the charged lemonades on Tuesday's episode?
We have talked about them recently somewhere.
They came up somewhere recently,
Yeah.
but
Actually,
they're like in the news
bummed.
because people like are suing them or
Yes.
something.
I'm bummed as the chief caffeine officer in my eyes of this office. Like, you should be the guy drinking these. I know you're not like a sugary drink guy, but you're the caffeine guy. You OD'd on caffeine once.
That was out of boredom. I just wanted to see what would happen.
All right, well, let me put you in a room with no phone and no TV.
And just Panera lemonade.
Why? What? So continue though.
So Panera released these charged lemonades. Why are you laughing?
Yeah, why are you laughing?
I haven't heard him say that before because you're talking about the time when you're at the office
Yeah.
or at your old job.
I'm
had to
pretty
go
sure
into your-
I might not have said it was out of, but it was just because I was bored.
Yeah,
imagine
I was just like, go get more coffee.
Let's see if I can get my heart to explode.
Yeah,
It's a fucking
that's-
slow day.
It was an entire pot in like 20 minutes.
Just imagine Dave in like a pillow room.
I swear to
with a
God, I thought I
Keurig.
was having a stroke. I told my boss, I'm like, you got to take me to the hospital. I'm about to die. She's like, pretty sure you're okay. I'm like, I just had that whole pot of coffee. I don't know if I am. She's like, drink lots of water, go down to the basketball court and walk it off.
It's like your boss is not a school nurse. First of all,
She at that job, it was me, her, and two other people. That was the entire company. So she kind of was like the.
well, she treated you like that. Go lay down, drink some water.
She
you know.
was like she.
I'll
was,
call your mom.
She was kind of like a non-mom to me.
Okay.
They had to strap you to that bed if they're making you lay down.
It was scary though, but
So what was it? It was like you worked at a gym, right?
yeah,
Okay, so what were you doing exactly?
sales.
Sales. So you're working sales at a gym, and like, what were you supposed to be doing that you were so bored?
So selling the gym
Like gym memberships?
Yeah, of course. Like
And what time was this at? Give me like a rough time frame.
so, I was supposed to work 10 to 6 every day.
Mm-hmm.
And I was doing the reverse commute at the time, and you know how that goes.
That was brutal.
commuting.
Yeah.
And so there's time, like I could leave at 7:30 and get there at 10, or I could leave at 8:30 and get there at 10. You know how there's those weird
Yeah.
pockets where you. So sometimes I would leave at like 7:30 every day just to get there as fast as possible because I hate sitting in traffic. So I'd get there super fucking early and just sit on the computer on Barstool, YouTube, whatever, and some mornings you just like not want to work like anywhere else, and I just pounded a bunch of coffee.
Gotcha. So there's probably an early morning, and you're saying you probably didn't even meet 10 a.m. yet? Like you weren't even on the clock yet?
This is probably like 8 to 9 a.m.
9
Yeah,
a.m.
I
He's the Ric Flair gift.
Whoa! 9 a.m. He's like supposed to start cracking some sales for this Lyle gym.
Let me tell you about the Supreme membership. Yeah, just like the Supreme membership. Yeah.
Could you imagine that going up to his boss like, hey, I got to get out of here. It's like, we haven't even started. You quite literally haven't done anything.
I remember it
Yes,
felt
I
like
have. I had a
it
pot of
felt
coffee.
like I could feel fucking like blood coursing through my brains, like through veins and shit. It was fucking weird. Yes.
Just shotgun to pot of coffee.
Don't do that at home, kids.
Yeah. So he had a whole pot. And then did you go to the hospital or no?
No.
No?
No.
You walked it off and you're
I
okay?
walked it off and I was okay.
Do you remember how many sales you locked down that day?
Probably none. Probably none.
What's your high? What was your high on sales?
It wasn't like a numbers thing there. It's just like do shit. I did this. Everybody that's ever been in a sales job has done this, but I would cold call all the time when I would just pick up the phone and have a conversation with the ringtone. Just nobody on the other line. Just hey, yeah.
No one's
Dave
monitoring. You
again.
knew no one was
Yeah.
monitoring him. Yeah.
It's Dave.
I would see how long and how in depth the conversations I could have with this ringtone, just to like kind of make it a game with myself, so my boss could overhear me in her office talking, and I would.
It's like your own little best eagle kind of
we
thing.
got
exactly,
3
yeah.
new Stairmasters. Call me.
Yeah, exactly. Just like that.
Monday.
All right. What's a good time to call you back? Yeah.
So going back to that story is why I would say you're our chief caffeine officer, even though Chief probably drinks more coffee. I'd say.
I drank coffee today, but I've made the matcha switch.
Oh
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the most part,
Yeah.
you feel so much better after drinking it. You feel refreshed or hydrated
I
instead
don't
of
know that I've
dehydrated.
ever had one.
Try one.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
grassy.
I got
Looks
switched by a
aggressive.
friend, and now I'm like,
You're off of coffee.
No,
and
I
onto
I
the-
think you
Dave.
feel better after it. You feel.
Do you get a little? Is there caffeine
You
in
get
it?
a jolt.
Is there
Yeah,
sugar
Yeah,
in it?
it's green tea.
there's like milk in it, so. But you
I'll
can
give
get
it a shot. I'll give it a shot.
I get skim milk matcha latte.
Yeah, you
and
get it how you
it's
want it,
sweet on its own. They don't add sugar or anything.
Yeah. So Dave, there are these Panera Bread is selling these charged lemonades that are like just like a regular size, 156 grams of caffeine, and then the large obviously is like damn near 300, I believe. And 2 people have died already. Yeah. Underlying conditions, obviously, from what I've read. So like they weren't supposed to be drinking it, but like since it's lemonade, people are arguing like, hey, like.
I didn't read the fine print.
Yes, but the fine print says, like we went today, and it'll be in the video as well tomorrow. The fine print on Panera's counter says, like, hey, there's caffeine in this shit, like, you know, whatever. You know?
Be careful.
Yes, exactly. So we were just kind of trying it out, putting it to the test. I only sipped one of them. I think Lance had a full one. He was going to be our test rabbit. So I don't know if you had any after effects.
Like it's definitely one of those caffeine things that, like, at first I was super jacked up, and then like I crashed super hard. Right as like in the car, I was buzzing super hard. I was like, oh my god, I was probably talking my ass off in that car. And then once we got here, I was like, holy shit, I could take a nap. So I could understand why it's deadly. I was like, I could use another one.
Yeah.
More points for matcha. You don't get that.
Yeah. You're right.
I'm a matcha fairy now.
Yeah.
Lance was jawing in there.
Yeah, but also, I do agree with Lance. There could be a placebo thing because 156 is like a cup and a half of coffee, you said?
Is it?
Yeah, like 156 milligrams of caffeine is like a cup and a half of coffee.
And those like fucking bangs are like 200, I think.
Yeah,
we
like
might have a
300.
caffeine problem in this country.
Yeah,
Like
it's
that'll
not
be like
enough.
the next health thing. Like 5 years ago, while everyone was having 600 milligrams of caffeine a day, we got a problem.
Yeah, what's
Chief.
it?
Boy's just chopping up about lemonade. Chief wants to take us to the Senate floor.
I think there's
Someone's got to say something.
I think Panera's lemonade is more just like an identity crisis. People think they're just getting a lemonade,
Yes.
and then it's like, whoa, it's like a
'Cause then
very
they're-
potent energy drink.
Because they used to just sell lemonade,
Right, and I
haven't
think they still might.
Yes.
in that little the old school
Yes,
kind of
the clear.
So that's not out towards you. If you get the
confusing.
charged lemonades, you got to get it from a worker
Yeah, you
behind
can't be self-serving with the charged
Yeah, you're not
lemonades.
like, you can't come there with your...
But I can see why people would get confused over that.
for sure.
Sure, you can't
Yeah.
come with your Bubba keg or
Yeah.
whatever and fill it up.
Your quote unquote
However-
water cup.
However, there is a thing there called the Sip Club. So like
That's for
hypothetically,
coffee, though, right?
I think it's all their drinks. Where like if I don't know how it works, but like if people could be just like really hitting the rabbit if they wanted to. So I don't know.
I
What's
mean,
the
there's
Sip
been
Club?
times where
Let's look it
I
up.
worked at a Panera like all day.
Really?
If I was traveling or something and just needed like a little space to be on my computer,
Just gnawing on that bread bowl.
just get a little bread bowl, a little
Yeah.
broccoli cheddar bread bowl, and then get some lemonades and some coffees, and you sit there for like 6 hours in fucking rural North Carolina.
Like I said, Sip Club because I kept hearing people talk about that. Now when I like say it back in my head, it sounds like it's just free refills, right?
Yeah.
So let me pull it up. So the unlimited Sip Club is 2 months free. Enjoy monthly access to 25 plus drinks when you join the unlimited Sip Club. See details and more perks below.
Panera's got memberships now.
They've always had them.
Sip Club. Just imagine going back.
I
And
guess for
drinking
2 months you
Fanta.
just get, yeah, here it is, unlimited Sip Club. You get 12 bucks a month. You get charged sips, iced and hot coffees, iced and hot teas, fountain beverages. Sip Club Saturday offers $0 delivery for 2 months free. So all right, so like if you're a member, you could get
You can get your money's worth.
yeah, it's actually kind of a good deal.
Yeah.
to be honest, $120 for the year, and that. Am I reading that right? You could go there every day for free coffee.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, that
Actually,
sounds-
a pretty good deal.
yeah.
I like Panera coffee too.
See,
I like their breakfast.
I don't really.
All coffee's kind of the same. to
And
me.
you can
Oh, I don't
redeem
agree
every
with that
2
at all.
hours.
I
so they had that fine print. You can't just like, all right, give me more, give
just
me more, give me
slug
more.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it
I
says
I don't think
there.
they enforce that probably though.
So coffee is about 95 milligrams of caffeine per cup, so 150 per cup and a half or so.
Oh, man, I have a
Monster's
caffeine problem,
only
man.
86 per cup.
But hey, you know what else is great? ChevyDriveChicago.com.
I love Chevy. Dave, what is it?
It's Americano.
It is Americana. You see that big symbol? That I don't even know what that symbol is. Do we know what that symbol
It's
is?
like a italics T.
Yeah, something like that. But when you go to Chevy Drive Chicago, you're going to find that dealer near you, and you're going to have a good experience and get a great quality car.
Yes, you do.
Mm-hmm.
You 100% know, because they also want to let you know that your local Chevy dealer, that it's a time to buy now. It's time to buy now.
It is. And I saw somebody had this it was a Equinox in the parking lot yesterday that we looked outside the window, and it was like a gray car with like black trim. It was like the coolest looking Chevy I've ever seen. So that might be the new target now.
Yeah,
New target?
no, I Equinox is great, man.
Yep.
It's a very good car.
I heard you were thinking about going big for your parents for Christmas, and why don't you get them a car?
Get with the bow on it. Those
Just
are,
like the commercials.
Those are cool commercials.
The antlers on it.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I don't really have I can barely get a car myself. I don't know if I can afford to get one for my parents too, but if I were going to do that, I would go to Chevy and they'd be able to find me with a way to lease it or buy it or whatever. They've got you covered.
Well, no, here, I know you're, struggling a little bit right now and you can't afford a lot of things, but you can afford an oil change, right? Why don't you just get your parents need an oil change? I'm sure. Why don't you just
That's
get them
actually a nice idea.
Mm-hmm. Nice thing about Chevy too is whether you're looking for a car for you or the whole family, they got a great selection of the SUVs, all sizes, sleek, comfortable interiors, top tier technology and safety features. Check out the latest offers on the Chevy Equinox, Blazer, and Trax, and find your local dealer at ChevyDriveChicago.com today. All right, so we could roll it into Bears here. I think I'm just not going to feel anything.
How can that be?
I'm just
You can't
gonna
control that.
What do they say, Danny, at those hippie concerts? Like, you're just like, somebody told me
Danny
that.
doesn't go to hippie concerts.
what
It's
the
me.
hell?
He goes to hip hop
Does he?
concerts.
See,
What's
none
it?
of the above.
Yeah.
Well, what are you saying? You're
Like
numb?
someone had like when I went to Swedish House Mafia a couple summers ago, someone was like, I don't know what to do. Like, how do I dance? Like, what do I do?
What do I do with my hands?
They're just like, brother, just stand there and let it come to you. Let that let you tell you what to do. You
That's
know?
how you feel about the Bears
And what
right
did
now?
you end up
That's how I
doing?
feel about I just
Stood there.
Now, what's your timeline? It's hard to
Pretty much.
to know what to do at concerts.
Yeah.
There's no good way to do it.
No.
Yeah.
So I think that's just what I'm going to do with the Bears.
We're just gonna stand there like this.
Yeah.
And just like whatever happens.
Sweaty
happens.
Brian. He's going to put.
I'm going to you just wait, let the,
But what are you going to let yourself get too happy?
no, not going to get, I'm
What's
not going
the
to go.
time? Is this like a week to week thing, or are you thinking like in the next 6 months with the draft and everything?
No, I
like
think
that?
it's the 4 games specifically.
No, I know, but
play-by-play thing.
there's a lot like that hangs in the balance of these next 4 games, whether they make the playoffs and win out or not, because they have like huge decisions to make.
Huge, yeah.
Yeah.
So no, this is a 2023 season thing.
Okay. So there's no looking around corners.
No, that's
Yeah.
what I mean when it comes
Well, then
to.
I think that's a pretty safe place, because I saw a TikTok this morning of everything that needs to happen in order for the Bears to make the playoffs. And when they lay it out like that, because in my head I was like, oh, just win out and they'll probably be in.
There's a lot that needs to happen.
Yeah, they it's like they're on the wrong side of like basically every tiebreaker with teams in front of them.
Yeah. I
So-
mean, there's only 3 teams there's 3 teams behind us, but they're all dumpster fires.
Yeah.
Carolina
Arizona.
and Washington.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna let the music come to me, Dave.
You're gonna feel the rain on your skin.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah.
No one
think
else can
that's it.
feel it for you.
That's true.
There's no other way to approach this. Like,
They
Yeah.
lost. They beat Vegas or lost Vegas? I
Bears
forget.
beat them. Tyson
Yeah.
Bagent.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
I guess I'm kind of in the same boat where it's like, because it doesn't feel like you're rooting necessarily for anything. I guess that's where I was asking if you're trying to look around corners as an approach to these 4 games. Like, what do you want?
I guess when you lay out tiebreakers and everything, it's probably smarter not to win. Right?
Yeah. But like, you still like at some point you just got to start.
Yeah. It's
You
hard
gotta
not to get swept into like, hey, they're playing really well.
Right.
Like, you need some type of core and some semblance rolling into 24. And I didn't think this team had a pulse, and apparently they do all of a sudden.
Yeah. Even like I saw after the win against the Lions, it kind of brought back Club Dub a little bit. I don't know if you saw that video. They had the lights going and everyone's dancing, vibing in the locker room. And I was like, who does this team think they are? But then it's like, all right, well, they're kind of like, at least they still care. At least they still are excited. They're not like wanting to kill
Sweat
each other.
had a quote saying that.
It's a better culture than Washington.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Paraphrase.
but it's an extremely difficult team to understand because we all had our opinion made up about them. You know?
I don't understand
This,
why
in a way, has
change
felt
those
like
games.
4 different seasons already, where it's like you had the beginning, which was such a disaster. Like,
Disappointment too is the key word.
yes.
Because like we're like, whoa, we didn't get better at all. We got
Right.
worse, and our
Right.
coach sucks, who we liked, and we got like weird controversies. It was like a lot.
It like
in
that
one.
month of September was like unbelievable.
Yeah,
Then you had like the Tyson Bagent era.
yeah.
And then you have coming out of that where they've won division games for the first time ever, and now you have this coming stretch. It's almost like the old Lovey, where it's like a quarter,
Yeah.
and but it does feel like they're like feels like it's been a very long football season, and it feels like there's like these chapters that are wildly different. Like each month has been wildly different.
Yeah, remember Chase Claypool? Remember that
Yeah.
guy?
Fuck,
Yeah, that's what
forgot
I'm
about
saying.
him. Yeah.
Like that was the first quarter. Second quarter, like you said,
First
there was the
yeah.
Bajan, like weird, like, ooh, do we got a good quarterback in our
Yeah.
backup?
And it was like, nope.
Yeah. Slash, there was like a little apathy in that period too. Slash, a little like, we're the fucking worst.
Yep.
Like, fire everyone. And then now it's like the third quarter, like you said, it's like, wow.
How did they survive the first 2 quarters?
Yeah.
And then now you have this coming period
Yeah,
here.
you're telling me Matt Eberflus, who looked like he was on a little raft that was a
Dude,
Donald Duck Disney fucking built, to like being like, whoa, this guy like
Yeah.
put some fucking
He grabbed everyone, put him on the raft with him.
Yeah.
And he had like those just like dead, bloodshot, 1,000-yard stare eyes, like every single press conference, every single time they showed him the sidelines. Like, this guy knows he's dead man walking. And you would usually, when you get like that vibe, it really does fall apart, and it just never did. So I don't know what to make of anything.
Do you feel differently now than we did when we talked on Sunday? Based on like, I think you said the quote.
How did I feel on Sunday? I
Like
can't
you were
remember.
like, no, like what are you talking about? People aren't going to come back in. I'm at Eberflus. Like that ship has sailed. And I was like, I don't know, man. I think if you win 9 games or what has happened now, like you might be surprised.
I don't think they're gonna win out. Is what I've kind of.
I think they're going to lose Sunday.
Right.
Because like, here's why. I think, and this is weird. This is a weird thought, but if the game's at Soldier, I think we win. The fact that it's at Cleveland, they're 6-1, they're very
Yeah.
good at home. I think that's like the tiebreaker.
That
And-
also makes me think they might be due for a correction too, the Browns, because like how can Flacco keep them winning for and like we have a pretty good defense, so I don't know. I that game is a complete toss up for me. But do I feel different? Like I do think there is something to. I don't know. I'm very torn. So I guess I am feeling a little bit different because let's say they go 8-9. Having a 5-win improvement in year 2, when you especially because there's all sorts of controversies, that is pretty remarkable. Okay, but at the same time, who is ultimately responsible for what a disaster the beginning of the season was? Well, as the coach who had hired the running backs coach and hired the defensive coordinator and hired an offensive coordinator who wants to turn Justin Fields into fucking Drew Bledsoe, so like he is like all the problems were created in a sense by Eberflus, but then he fixed them, so you get credit for fixing the problems that you created. Like I don't think so. It would have to be like they need like if they have an option to get Harbaugh, there should not be a discussion. You just have Harbaugh be your head coach. But then if it's Eberflus versus, I don't know, anybody else, then I guess you gotta think about it. But I am still ready to move on from this staff, regardless of how the last 4 games go.
And I think that's the right
Yeah.
opinion. But like, what if you do piss off that nucleus who we're kind of liking now?
I think guys will
They
show
don't
up
give a
and
shit.
play.
Yeah,
I
the
think
nature of the NFL.
the only problem with
I
that
don't know if I agree with that. I don't know if I agree with that at all, Dave.
That's coaching as a whole.
But they said it
Coming
at the
and going.
beginning. They're like, "Hey, if we're trading away our good guys, what's the message? Like, what are we doing here? We want to win at some point.
Yeah.
At some point, if you got guys in your corner who you like and you want to roll forward with, they might throw up their arms and be like, "Hey, what's the plan here?"
I think it's more of like whoever they get to replace him, is he going to run a similar system? Because Tremaine Edmonds works in this system. Montez Sweat is a traditional defensive end, edge player. Like he's not like I have a hard time envisioning him kicking inside or standing up in a 3-4. So it's like all of these signings that they did in the offseason, Edwards, Edmonds, trading for Montez Sweat, drafting the 2 defensive tackles, they are all for Eberflus's system. So if you do get rid of him, like that to me is a question. Like if you get rid of him, you were really giving him all the tools he needed to make a pretty good defense, which he did eventually. So that's a bigger question is like who they get to replace him, and do these pieces that they acquired for him fit into a new system? Mm-hmm. But I do think guys will show up and play regardless of who the coach is next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
But I guess in the interim, you do maybe worry about pissing guys off.
Yeah.
I don't think you worry about pissing guys off. I think you worry about what's best for the long-term health of the organization, and the long-term health of the organization is not Matt Eberflus or Luke Getsy or Alan Williams or any clown show.
Not saying they are.
Do you think that that they would be like, all right, Eberflus, you can stay, but you gotta fire Getsy? And would he, like that's a question too, because I am firmly in the camp that Getsy is an issue.
It's so weird because last week he was good. The week before that against Minnesota was screen, which obviously there was intent behind that, but like he puts together good game plans like pretty frequently, but the highs are so high with them and the lows are like fucking low. It's so weird how inconsistent. I've never seen it out of an offensive coordinator, any position coach in football like I've seen it out of him. Because sometimes he just dials back and just is painting on the black.
Yeah,
and
I guess
other games he's just fucking getting teed off on.
Well, I mean, it just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't. It's confusing to me.
Last year, we were like, oh, my God, someone's going to poach this guy. This guy knows how to use Justin, and then he's taken such a step back.
But he took such a long time to know how to use Justin last year.
What, it took 5 weeks, 4 weeks
So
after
like
that
Five.
Thursday night
I think
game?
it was into October.
Like
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
I think
October against the Pats.
Yeah, that was like
That was
the
like
first.
mid-October.
Yeah.
When they
Yeah,
beat the
you're
shit
right. It
out
was
of
like
them.
mid-October.
And then he had a really good stretch in the middle of the season. Then the end of the season, they sucked again. And then I was anticipating a big step forward with the offense, with the weapons and the improved line. It just didn't really happen. Mm-hmm. And I do think eventually that's got to fall on, because it's like you got to design things that he's good at instead of being like, why don't you learn how to do my system?
Yeah, it was eerily reminiscent to 2019.
Yeah, yeah.
But in a different, I guess now it was a lot different.
How many different offensive coordinators did Lovey have? Because it was a lot.
It was a lot.
How many did Lovey have?
Zook, Shoop.
Was Shoop part of Lovey?
Yeah,
Terry Shea, Ron Turner.
Yeah.
Terry Shea, Ron Turner.
Yeah.
I
So
don't-
like you
who'd
could
say?
do
Zook?
it.
Shoop.
Oh, John Shoop.
I mean,
yeah.
we have a history of that where defensive head coach stays and changes the offensive coordinator.
Was Mike Tice ever offensive coordinator?
He was.
He was for a year.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was the worst offense ever. That was such a bad offense.
And this is why I feel bad for Jay Cutler, because he had a different
Holy
offensive coordinator
shit.
every year
Mike
and a half.
Tice.
2012, yeah.
Yeah. Mike Tice was bad, and Mike Martz was bad.
Horrible.
7-step drop.
Yep. 7-step drop, and Greg Olson doesn't fit my system, so let's let him be a Hall of Famer
like,
for Carolina.
Not eerily reminiscent to 2019, just in the fact where like we thought they'd keep humming. 2018 offense like really needed to step up Bears wise from 2018 to 2019, and we thought Mitch would just be. How about what's going on with him, huh? People don't like him.
Who?
Mitch.
As what, a quarterback?
Yeah.
Well, no shit.
What now?
Yeah.
Are you
He's
just now learning this?
Yeah, he's just not very good.
Well, he's back in the starter with Pittsburgh.
I know, but
Well,
like he shouldn't be that.
He's a backup at best in the
Right.
NFL.
He's
Yeah, but
What
when
do
you-
they expect from him?
When his name starts trending again, it's people don't even think he's backup caliber.
Probably is.
I think he's perfectly backup caliber. That's really what
can
he
run
is.
a little
Yeah.
bit.
But like he's never like the Pittsburgh has like the worst offense in the world. But it's like that. Yeah, Mitch is not good. The thing is, Pittsburgh has some weapons too. Like they should have a better offense than what they have. And they fired their offense coordinator already this year.
Matt Canada,
Yeah.
Yeah, John Shoop, Terry Shea, Ron Turner, Mike Martz, Mike Tice. There you have it.
Adam Gase.
Aaron Cromer, that was Trestman, obviously.
Yeah,
but-
he was the one who was crying.
Yeah.
yeah, because
That's what killed the Bears for me. When I heard that story, it was fucking Pat Manley telling Matt
Dowell
Spiegel.
Loggins.
I was commuting out to that gym, Ed. It might have been the very morning I decided
That's why
to
you
give
had to
myself.
overdose. Yeah.
I tried drugging myself
Yep.
because I was listening to a story about how Aaron Cromer was crying in the locker room because the team was mean to him or something.
Keep scrolling down, Lance.
It's crazy to think that the best offensive coordinator we've had probably
Gary Croton.
is Adam Gase.
No, he definitely was.
Just for like,
And honestly, out of all of those names, Turner had a little run. I would say maybe Getsy's number 2.
Do you remember how much people hated John Shoup?
Oh my God, was he bad?
People fucking hated John.
He was the
Remember
head coach
Terry
at Purdue
Shea?
after that.
he was just the king of the wide receiver screen every time. The guy
Yeah.
just 2-step drop back right to the sideline. Although, if you're gonna make the argument, obviously Aaron Cromer was a fucking jagoff, but
Yeah.
that was the best offense we've ever seen in our lives.
That first
2013.
year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were talking about bringing Aaron Cromer to Northwestern as their offensive coordinator before they hired.
I also hated
Turner
Mark
guy.
Helfrich, too, because I hated him. He was like a failure at Oregon. And then they're like, yeah, let's hire that guy. And he sucked here, too.
Yeah, but he wasn't supposed to be like a big part of it. Like it was supposed to be Nagy, and then
Then why hire him at all?
yeah, and then they officially handed it over to him, and then he like took it back. That was so weird.
That was
dude.
He did that with Bill Lazor, too.
Yes, that was so weird. Nagy was so weird.
He was coaching for his
so
job.
weird.
Yeah.
But Cromer,
That
mean-
was like, in hindsight, the Nagy hire. What a fucking bozo hire. Because he had only called plays for like 4 games
Yeah.
at the end of that year. Like he was the offensive coordinator, but it was really Andy Reid, and Andy Reid really ran everything. So he got like credit for Mahomes, but like didn't really have
And
a
they
ton.
suck again now.
And they
Well, I mean, relatively
some of that's
speaking.
out of his. They don't
Yeah.
have a lot of weapons, but
I know.
But yeah, you're right. Like I don't know how like that they like tricked everybody in being like, yeah, this guy's the guy. Like he's a genius.
yeah, but the way people talked about him, I was all the way in.
So
I was too,
I
yeah.
agree.
The amount of respect
That's why I
people
said
had for him,
hindsight,
like
yeah.
how cool of a guy and how good of a guy he was. Legitimately, we
Same
were all
for Dable and Kafka.
yeah, we were all in the same
Both
place,
on the
Yeah.
hot seat.
and we were talking to a guy who's in the league,
Mm-hmm.
who we're friends with, and he's like, "Hey, I'll tell you this: I worked around both these guys. Like, Doug Peterson just won a Super Bowl. Nagy's 10 times the coach that he is.
It's
and
so
we're
fucking
like,
true.
What?
Yeah.
Holy
No, I
fuck!
remember
Let's
that
go!
now.
This is unbelievable. You know what I mean? And obviously, he's wrong.
That
with
was at Declan's, right? We were
Yes.
having that conversation
Yes.
at that back table. Yeah.
Yes,
Yep.
that same person that did tell us that Roquan is the best linebacker prospect we've ever seen. So he's 1 for 2.
Yeah.
Yeah,
One
which
for 2.
is good.
Yeah.
But that Cromer offense, real quick, 2013, they were number 2 behind that Broncos.
The juggernaut with Peyton.
Demarius
Yeah.
Thomas and Julius Thomas and
Yep.
Decker. That was like a juggernaut. No Sean Marino.
Yeah.
But I never
Your
thought
favorite
that,
dog.
No, favorite offensive dog.
You said dog.
Yes,
Favorite
no,
Georgia dog.
no. Roquan FaceTime me Sunday night.
Oh yeah. What do you have
was
to
nice.
say?
He is, yeah.
He was with somebody. He's like, I'm with some fan, guy that likes you. He told me to FaceTime you. So I'm just FaceTiming. I was like, all right, man. Nice win today. Big win for the Bears, too. And he's like, let's go, baby.
God damn. I love Roquan.
He's the best. Yeah, like that. I never thought I'd see a number 2 offense in Chicago.
Yeah, I know.
But then I never thought I'd see a Mel Tucker horrendous defense.
That was bad too.
That was so bad.
It,
Bad is not.
Mel Tucker is fucking like.
He has made 100. Well,
He's not going
we'll
to see
see.
it. He
yeah.
won't see
We'll
that
see
money.
if he sees that. But I mean,
But I remember when-
if you get rid of that, hypothetically, $100 million for that guy to fucking coach football over the course of his career, that is absurd because he's never been good anywhere.
No.
Anywhere.
I think he
anywhere.
went 4-8 at Colorado, and then
Michigan
used that
State
to
gave him
springboard
$100
to
million.
He had one good
95
year because
million, yeah.
he got what's his face, the running back for Seattle,
Yeah, right.
Kenneth Walker.
Kenneth Walker Jr. Yeah.
who was a stud.
Yeah, he
And they
was he
would-
a Heisman finalist or close to it?
He was so
Yeah.
good that year, and they got to 10 wins that year, 9-3, 10 like.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, this is the guy, obviously.
Give him all this money.
Give him
We
a lifetime
can't
contract.
possibly
Well, they
give
were
him
like-
a cent less than
They were
$95 million.
thinking that they were going to lose him to LSU. That was the big rumor. So we better watch. We can't lose another great coach to LSU.
That's
Better
a
watch-
tale as old as time, though. Like, and Michigan State did the right thing.
I think they got
Trying
the
to
right
get-
guy now.
Well, they tried to do the right thing, like getting ahead of it, and like,
Yeah.
we want to keep our guy. They tied their ref to the
It's
wrong.
one of those things where it's like, are you sure LSU's bidding $100 million on this guy? Like, you better be sure about that.
Maybe, yeah. I know that.
Yeah, you're
I mean,
bidding against yourself.
Right.
different story, different coach, different situation. But obviously, I went to Southern, and we were like juggernauts in basketball.
Yeah.
In like the
That's Sweet 16, right?
2 Sweet 16.
Yeah.
And we went
Brian
from
Mullins.
Brian was the head coach now.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. We had Matt Painter, who
Yeah.
got poached by Purdue.
Purdue, yeah.
And then we had Bruce Weber, who got poached by Illinois.
Yep.
So
That's
when we
right.
got the next guy, Chris Lowry, Southern's like, we can't fucking let this happen
Lose him.
again.
He's at
Yeah.
Northwestern now, yeah.
Chris Lowry?
And everybody credits him for their turnaround the last couple of years
Really?
defensively. Yeah, he's a defensive.
Which is funny because
yeah.
he was on Weber's staff at K-State too. So SIU signed this guy to like an 8-year extension, and he was miserable as a head coach. Just miserable. But he went to one of the Sweet 16s because he had leftover guys
They
from
beat
those times.
Coach K. Or not Coach K.
I mean,
Bob
Weber
Knight.
kind of benefited from that at U of I, too.
He did with
for
Bruce,
sure.
with Kansas.
You know?
Right.
Yeah.
South, yeah.
So
South.
Southern had the right mentality. It's like, hey, we can't have another guy get poached.
Yeah.
Like, we're a D1 team too. Like, we need to.
I wonder how hard it is to tell the difference, because if you had and I think Bruce Weber's a good coach, and Matt Painter's obviously very, very good coach. But I wonder if it's like, how close to the program, to the actual team, do you have to be able to like this guy is not Matt Painter. You know, like, do you have to be in practice every day to be
right.
you know, like, is it?
Like,
I feel like it's got to be very hard for an AD to be able to tell the difference between
heard
a
the
Matt
stories
Painter and
about,
his successor when the results are similar.
I agree with
from
that.
Bo about what's his face at LSU. Like, that guy, LSU is a top 10 program on the planet, and that guy's Les Miles is running that program.
Yeah,
I mean, we heard the stories from Bo.
yeah. Well, these were off camera stories, so we're not going to get into those. We weren't supposed to tell those
I thought he
stories.
told it. Whatever.
No, it was off camera.
Yeah,
But yes.
but point taken. Yes,
You're right. Point
yes,
taken.
Yes.
But yeah, no, you're right about that.
Yeah.
I think U of I, and listen, I'm not a U of I expert, so you correct me if I'm wrong. I think obviously there were down years, and Weber had some bad recruiting classes.
He was
but
pretty solid.
there
though.
were some bad luck in my eyes too. Like the kid from Waukegan, Jeremy Richmond. Remember
Yeah,
that
he
kid?
got in a ton of trouble.
He was like supposed to be a star.
Yeah.
Like just never panned
and
out.
he had Eric Gordon, and then Eric Gordon flipped.
Yeah. Was at the finish
Yeah.
line with John Shire.
They
you know?
did that.
That one was like, they should probably fire this guy.
Who had
because John Shire, and I know you're going up against Duke, but his brother was Shire's high school coach.
Yeah.
Bruce Weber's brother.
brother-in-law.
I remember that.
Brother-in-law or brother?
It was one of the two, but you're correct there.
Yeah.
But like that whole era, like Derrick Rose never sniffed Illinois. There was that one guy at Kansas, I forget who it was, who did that hat dance and put the Illinois hat on.
Cliff Alexander.
Yeah.
Cliff Alexander, and then took it off and put the Kansas hat on.
But he never panned out at Kansas.
I heard,
You're right.
yeah, I remember that guy too. I remember hearing something about, this is probably from an article from like 15 years ago, and I can't remember where it was, but how much demographic shifts really hurt different college programs, because Illinois, they would get a couple of Chicago kids, and they would always get the best kids from Peoria. And then Peoria as a city and like a basketball hotbed really died. And Illinois, which had like a pipeline there, they never like backfilled where they're getting their guys from. And they never and where else are you going to go? Like, that's probably the one hotbed high school place, because they had really good teams. Sean Livingston was from there. They had a lot of
Peoria, Springfield, it's
they
not
had
just Chicago, yeah.
right.
It's all Illinois.
But when that for whatever reason, because those different cities die because the manufacturing leaves or whatever, like they just don't have the same numbers, they don't produce the same amount. And then Illinois doesn't have, like, then it's like, well, let's go into Indiana. Well, like, Indiana's building the fence around, Purdue is building the fence around it. So it becomes very difficult to adjust, and you have to kind of go out of state for your guys.
Yeah, it was a problem. Like, they were just constantly kind of being the one stood up for the dance. You know, stood up and. But they did have those teams where, you know, the Brandon Paul was so good.
He was.
Like, what if they had just had another guy in that team?
Nick Smith, remember him? The tall, skinny guy with asthma.
Well, he was
on some of those
pounds.
teams.
Well, he was on
the
05 team.
But he was like a sophomore on that team.
He didn't play much. Right.
But like, he became like the focal point by the time he was a senior.
Not focal point.
A starter.
Yeah, he started. Yeah.
Are you sure about that? I thought he was
almost positive.
No, he played a couple years after that.
Did he?
Ryan's right. Because Augustine was
the guy.
Yeah.
I mean, they only played 8 guys, that team.
Yeah.
It was a starting 5: Nick Smith, McBride, and Ingram was the other one
Yep.
off the bench. They only played a couple guys.
Oh no, actually he was done in 05. So
yeah,
I was wrong.
I thought I was pretty sure that was his last season.
Fucking, I could have sworn. Maybe was there another guy like that?
I would have bet
I know
a lot
why.
of money that you were
Like
correct.
another tall, skinny weirdo guy.
I fucking love that team. I think
I love that team
No.
too, and I don't like Illinois.
I think just McBride Augustine came back. Augustine and D came back.
Yeah, D came back for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
But obviously, you lose Luther Head, Darren Williams, and Roger Powell.
that'll do it. I went
You're
to
in
the
trouble.
Big 10 tournament that year with my dad, and I went to like every single game. We sat way up at the top, and it was just like you would just watch like coach's cam of Williams just like running shit, and it was like, this team is so fucking awesome.
I used to be a huge fan of Brandon Paul and Jeremy Richmond
from your
because they're
area,
from
yeah.
Warren, Gurnee, and then Waukegan, pretty close by. They had an epic showdown in like the Illinois State playoffs where it was like a tied game. Brandon Paul ices 3 free throws to take the lead, and then Jeremy Richmond hits a half-court shot to beat him. It was terrible. Yeah, Brandon Paul got the last laugh though.
Illinois high school basketball as a whole, on your point, might be down. I looked up yesterday the Rivals 150 for basketball for the 2024 class, and the highest rated Illinois player, and usually they have, one or two in the top 10. It was like 74 or something in
Really?
the state of Illinois. Yeah.
Is that, you think that's an off year or a trend?
I don't know.
I mean, here's the thing.
Football's gotten way better in Illinois though.
Recently. 'Cause
Recently,
it did
baseball's gotten way better.
He might just be looking at the transfer portal more because I know they got Southern's best guy.
Okay.
This kid,
Yeah,
Damask,
he's lighting it the fuck up.
yeah,
right
he's
now.
awesome. He had
he's
30
up.
against Florida
Yeah.
Atlantic. Like,
I
he's a
actually
kid.
think the transfer portal, like, I would only if you're not like getting these one and done type kids, if you're like a Minnesota, for example, why wouldn't you just go 100% transfer portal and just get like find these kids that are at these lower, like Northern Iowa, like places like that who have good tournament teams, and just pluck the best kid off, get him some NIL money, and tell him he can play in the Big Ten instead of at Northern Iowa. I bet you could put together a pretty fucking good team with nobody who's actually going into the NBA.
Lance got the top ones pulled up.
Is this from Illinois?
Yeah, so it looks like the best player in Illinois
This
is
is-
actually nationally ranked 32nd.
This is 247. I was looking at Rivals, but the next
Are you not a big 247 guy?
He hates 247.
Does he?
I have a Rivals subscription, so
Go
course
down.
I'm
Where's
gonna
our
use
guy Severino? He's going to Northwestern.
yeah, he
Dave.
is. He's supposed to be a stud.
Yeah, he goes to Mount Carmel.
Yeah.
Shout out to Anthony.
This isn't the right class you're looking at. This might be 20. Yeah, go to 2024.
2024. Don't
Oh,
go back to that page.
There's a tab.
See the tab?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there we go, Lance.
So
and this is
Cooper
national.
Cooper flag. Oh yeah. So just go to Illinois.
Yeah, Rutgers has got the 2 of the top 3
I
kids.
know. How did
I saw
that happen?
It's Ron Harper's kid, which makes sense.
Morris Johnson.
So 35 here. It was 70 something, unless I missed
there
that
he
kid.
is. There's Angelo.
You know what? I might have missed him because I remember it was a white kid that was first overall. It was that Cooper Koch.
He's a Peoria kid
There
going
you
to
go.
Iowa. Yeah.
Oh, how did
Peoria Richwoods kid going to Rutgers. What the fuck is wrong with people? What is this?
They must
Maybe-
have the money.
maybe Underwood didn't want him. I trust Underwood. Underwood's a good coach.
They got a Yorkville kid,
Arizona State. How about DePaul?
a 3-star. I mean,
Yeah, but still, Kenwood
Actually,
staying home.
I heard this 2 days ago.
do you guys remember those DePaul teams that were good? Like you might have been
No.
pretty young for them.
No, there was only
There was one
they only
tourney
made the tournament
team
once.
Yeah,
I
when
thought
I was
it
in
was
like high
back-to-back
school.
years.
It might have been.
with like Bobby Simmons, Quentin Richardson, and Lindsey
I
Hunter.
remember that I was talking. There was when I was in high school. That was like when I was in 4th, 5th grade. But
Yeah.
in high school, they made the tournament once. I remember. Bradley did 1 year 2 and 1 Sweet 16, I think.
Yeah, they did.
But what I was.
This is just turned into like a 2000 college basketball talk.
Yeah, it's go to Rivals, Lance. What was I just? Rivals 150.
You gonna give them your password? Wildcats Dave 242424.
Lance will be commenting.
Yeah.
yeah,
So
'cause
this one has Cooper Flag at
Duke.
Have you seen
Oh, no,
that
that's
kid?
no. Okay, go to. You can't filter it by state. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, I think you were wrong because they made
Yeah.
it in 2000, 2004, Chief. They never were back to back.
Really?
Yeah, that 2014, I remember they lost to Kansas
Second round, right?
first. Oh no, you're right. Second round.
I could have sworn Quentin Richardson made it with back-to-back years, but
They lost to Connecticut. Sorry, I fucked that up too. Bunch of wrongs. One more note on the Bears. That in the end, like, listen, we'll see what happens this weekend. And then if they lose, then I think like I officially want them to lose.
But
back
then
in
they
the thing.
won't. They'll win those 2 games at home still.
Maybe
They'll beat the Cardinals. They'll beat the Cardinals.
they should beat the Cardinals, yes, but I could see Atlanta beating us.
Yeah, maybe.
It was
Desmond
like
Ritter's
weirdly
fucking
had trouble
bad.
with them.
Our boy Big T is salivating over the thought of trading for Justin Fields.
Really?
Yeah.
But then I will absolutely be rooting for the Bears to beat the Packers. That's just how my brain's wired.
yeah.
I can't. Yeah.
So you're looking at a 7-10 record probably.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
If my gut says they split. Well,
Yeah.
I'm hoping.
Yeah.
Well,
You're hoping they go 1-3.
yeah. It sounds, but I'm not. I'm gonna go with the win. I'm gonna go with wherever the music takes
I'm
me.
rooting for him to win. Like I want
Yeah,
I want him to win at this point. I think,
I don't care if they win. It doesn't matter. Like prior to them beating Minnesota, I was like, I want them to lose every single game. Now it's like, what's the difference between the 8th and 10th pick?
Yeah, I'm rooting for them to play well. How about that? If we play
That's what
well,
I'm saying. The players
defense-
that matter.
Yeah,
Like
defense,
if they lose 35-20, but Gavon Dexter has 2 sacks and a forced fumble, like awesome, like shit like that.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
individual performances for guys that matter next year and beyond.
we lose 21-17 or something. Like, just play well.
yeah.
I'm rooting for them to play well.
Are you? Is Justin Fields the guy?
Round and round we go.
What do you think, Danny?
I think he's the guy. Point blank.
Okay.
Give us more.
Well, I think he's going to have to be the guy. That's what I should say.
But he doesn't if you're looking around the corner.
I don't
You
think
have the
we're
number
getting
1
anyone
pick.
else.
You
So
have the
he,
number
by
1
default,
pick.
he's the guy.
You said Big
But-
T would love him.
They've had 2 number 1 picks in a row.
Yeah, but I don't think they're going to take a quarterback. Is what I'm saying. I think we're still going to have Justin Fields.
So then
He's
you're
the-
trading out of that spot.
Did you bring up what you asked?
My poll question?
What you
No.
talked to Big Cat about?
I haven't yet.
There's a lot of debate in the
Were you
comments.
here for that?
No, he was not.
So I saw this on a TikTok where it was a PFF draft analyst was talking to a guy, and he was saying that the trade value for that Bears number 1, the Panthers pick, is probably going to be 3 first-round picks. A pick this year, a pick next year, and a pick the year after that. And he said the trade value for Justin Fields at the end of the year would likely be a 2nd-round pick. So, would you rather keep Fields, trade the number 1 pick for 3 firsts, or, and let's say that your trade, like, so now both your picks are probably outside the top 5. You might be able to trade back to 3, but that was what this guy was speculating that based upon what they got last year, how much better of a prospect people think Caleb Williams is than Bryce Young and Stroud. Like, you're going to get a better haul return, and you're probably not going to get a DJ Moore, so you get the extra first-round pick. So 3 firsts, or you trade Fields for a 2024 2nd-round pick and then draft a quarterback number 1.
I'd go option B, 1,000,000%.
I don't think it's that easy of a question. 3 first-round picks, so you're going to, like,
I think I'm taking option A.
I think I'm taking.
You get 2 first-rounders. You get 6 first-rounders in 3 years.
Yeah.
You know how good of a core you could build if
That's
you
what I'm
draft right?
saying. Yeah.
It is crazy how good of a core you could build.
So Big Cat, for the record, he went with option B because he's like, it's more important to have a quarterback on a rookie deal than and try to build around that guy and win in that short window. And then so you can effectively have a quarterback like 6-7 years or whatever with your starting quarterback on a rookie deal. That's what he's arguing for. Because he's like, you're going to have to pay Justin Fields. I thought Lance was raising his hand like he had something to say on the matter, but I still think like I get in this headspace where it's like, why do you have to pay Justin Fields $1 gazillion after that 5th year? Just say no. Just say we're not paying you Daniel Jones money.
Then Justin Fields is not the quarterback next year.
He is
for the option year.
You would pick up the option.
I saw a tweet here that
It's about 2021.
from Bears reporter Jacob Infante that the current projected market value on his next contract would be $43.9 million.
Oh, you did say that.
Yeah,
but that's the market value. That's the market. Like go below market value.
You can offer him below. You could offer him a penny if you want to.
Someone who might be desperate may give him that.
All right, and I've accounted for that in my brain. So you give him what you think is fair that won't absolutely blow up your wage structure, your salary cap.
And then you go get Jake Browning?
And no, not necessarily Jake Browning, although I've always liked him too. I loved him at Washington. He just doesn't have a good arm. Like he's got a rag arm, but he's got some Brock Purdy to him. And but then if you make this trade, at that point you would you'd still have 2 more first-round picks as part of that original trade. You could, in theory, make a splash and go get the rookie quarterback at that point, and whoever it would be into Arch Manning or who fuck knows. But that's like if you can't reach a deal with Justin after that 5th year because he wants $43 million and he's not worth that, well, then you just take your extra draft capital and go get another rookie. I think that's the plan.
Dude, six
first round in 3 years.
Insane.
Yeah,
like that's how you could.
That's it. I mean, that you would think that's 6 starters, right? I mean,
could build a damn roster.
You can.
Cheap. Yeah.
Yes.
That's the way to go.
But it's a pretty split poll. So the results right now are option 1, which is keep Fields and get the 3 picks, is 54.6 to 45.4. Like it's like, and then like people, it's almost like an election cycle. Where people are like, if you're taking option 1, you're a fucking idiot and you don't know ball. And then you have another comment, if you're taking option 2, you're an idiot and you don't know ball. And it's just so people are so fired up on both sides. Like I don't really know. I think like gun to my head, I'd go option A.
I mean, there's definite gray area because like, what does polls think of K. Williams in May?
And that's the other thing. Yeah. I don't think those guys are definitely better than Justin Fields.
I would bet any amount of money I could afford to bet that over the first 17 games of their career, they will obliterate Justin Fields statistically aside from on the ground. Obliterate. You can take any 17-game sample you want from Justin Fields' 20th game to 37th game, and I would bet because Justin Fields can't throw the football. He can't throw the football.
There's so many high court, like Jameis Winston was a bust. Baker Mayfield's drafted number 1 is a bust. Carson Wentz bust. Mitch Trubisky bust. Like just because like
there's a million,
right? So I'm saying just because evaluators like them at the top of a draft doesn't mean that they're going to come in and light it up in their first 17 games.
It doesn't mean that they're going to be the bust either.
I know,
but
I think
what Justin Fields is. I don't understand. It's 40 games.
I'm choosing the devil that you know, kind of thing.
It's 40 games. We know he stinks.
I'm choosing the devil that I know and 3 first-round picks.
There's no doubt in my mind that even with Flacco, I mean, it doesn't even matter but that Justin Fields is going to look like ass against his good defense this week. He's going to look like ass.
It's possible.
Well, all right. So if he plays well against 3 top 10 defense, can he change your mind?
Absolutely. I reserve the right to change my mind.
I know. I'm just asking. That's why
I just don't.
I ask you every week. I ask you every time he plays well. I ask you to.
He played well last week.
Yeah.
He didn't like. It was 230 yards, a couple touchdowns. It was good.
And as a Fields guy, people are forgetting he played like dog shit against the Vikings.
He was so bad. That was the worst football game of all time.
Yeah,
that was like 12-9 score.
12-10.
12-10.
Yeah.
Bad. He played bad. We didn't get Ohtani.
Yeah. I had some fire merch ready for Ohtani too.
Did you?
Yeah. It's a shame.
Was any of it, racially insensitive?
No.
Do you remember that one that there was there were the ones that they were
reporter over
they
here.
were
Yeah, it's kind of like, well, were you thinking about doing that?
no, you guys don't
I
remember
was thinking about it.
I know what you're talking about. The Fukudome.
The Fukudome.
Yeah.
Fukudome headband.
Yeah.
I will post cancel you. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fukudome. No, he wasn't going to make a Fukudome headband, Dave.
I wasn't.
You let the intrusive thoughts win.
Yeah.
Just wonder.
I was just gonna take the Cubs hat and like just fill in that C with all red.
What rattles
for
around
the
in that
Japanese dot? What?
Crickets.
I don't understand this contract shit. Have you been like,
I don't understand it either.
please tell me you're a baseball guy. As much as you hate the White Sox, that like
Yeah.
you've been in
What don't you want? What do you? would you
How he's making $2 million a year?
they're just deferring the payments to later on,
What's the point of that?
so they have more cash flow now to go get better
Why?
players.
Why would he do that?
Because he's making $50 million a year in endorsements already, so he wants to win multiple World Series. He's like, pay me $2 million a year, give me the extra $690 million, whatever it is, down the road.
He could have taken 10 a year, $2 million a year. He's like
Two is
4.
nothing.
I mean,
I don't think he can buy a house in LA for that.
he's making
gonna have to get a
$50 million
mortgage.
a year off the field. So that was his whole thing. But I guess the CBT
Who does he have
number.
endorsements deal with? Like,
I'm sure like Mizuno,
okay.
whoever, you know.
Get $2 million
Wilson,
a year. He get like
Nike.
a studio in Venice.
this is where the Cubs got to be like, hey, Cody, we'll give you $3 million a year. Why don't you come here?
They're getting hockey money.
I don't think the Blue Jays are going to let that happen.
I agree. I think the Cubs are going to be left holding their dick.
And I've bitched about Cubs fans and how they bitch about Ricketts a lot over the last year or so. If they come away with a nothing offseason, you as in Cubs fans have every right to raise fucking hell.
Can you imagine if their whole off season, their biggest move is Craig Counsell? Who gives a fuck?
I think I'm going to know your answer, but would you have given Shohei $700 million?
Yeah.
Okay. Just.
I mean, I would love.
I just thought maybe
That
that'd be a
also,
chance.
that deferred payment thing.
That needs to be ironed out. You can't do that,
Dude, that's
you can't
insane.
do that. You shouldn't be able.
But
to
it's
do that.
also like it's 10 years from now, right? Mm-hmm. That money doesn't. It's not
It
even
doesn't
real.
exist.
It's not
yeah,
real.
It doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Credit.
Exactly. They're going to sell the team for hand over fist. Magic Johnson's going to be worth
Yep.
$10 billion instead of
They
$1
could
billion.
probably be like, "Hey, Shohei, we'll convert this. Once you retire at the end of this, we'll convert it into equity, and then you just never have to pay them."
There you go.
yeah.
So this is a very good example. So it's 10 years, $700 million, so $70 million a year. That's the number that's accounted for the tax thresholds. It's not the $2 million. It's the average AAV across the duration of the entire contract. So it's not 70. It's like $46 million a year they're getting docked for. I don't know how that works. I don't know why it wouldn't be 70 because that's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be just the standard AAV, but it's like $46 million or something.
So what are people saying in your circles? Like, this is fucked up and they shouldn't be allowed to do this?
It's not that they shouldn't be. It's that they took advantage of a rule that nobody thought would ever, like, you can't predict this kind of thing, really, you know? Like, what, you have to have just an because who in their right mind would take $700 million 10 years from now instead of $700 million today?
Yeah.
Your money's going to be worth less the way the economy's going.
And it's just that
Preaching
$2
to the
million.
choir.
Who's ever taken $2 million over like simply $5 million?
See,
know?
at that point, he should have just signed for the veteran minimum. Just give me $785.
Yeah.
$785, that's all
But
I
he
want.
needs to be able to afford a house.
He's making $50 million a year off the field.
Are you sure that number
Yeah,
is
That's the number
That's
I
the
heard.
report.
Yeah, that's the number that they're floating around.
We could still assume double-digit mills.
And-
I mean, he's the biggest celebrity in all of Asia right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of people in Asia.
I think it's a good thing.
there are.
There's a lot of people in Asia.
It could be a good thing for some franchises. Like I bet you this happened, and Jerry Reinsdorf and the White Sox brass were like, we gotta find loopholes like this. We're
Gotta
gonna-
find a guy like that. Like, how doesn't care about the
Did
money?
we not
Well-
know about this?
the cutting edge White Sox.
Yeah.
Paul Konerko, I'm pretty sure, is still getting paid by the White Sox. Like the Bobby Bonilla thing, $1 million a year too, by the way. I'm pretty sure.
Pretty
it
good.
might have ended the last year or two, but it was like until 2020, whatever. But so a lot of teams do this. The Bobby Bonilla thing, like that is something that every team has on their books, not to that extent and for that long, but everybody defers payments here and there. This is just like
This is absurd.
it's absurd.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the Reds can't do this. Nobody can really do this.
Well, I mean, you'd have to be like, we'll just give you the whole team if you're the Reds.
Pretty much.
Like, you own the team at the end of the deal.
So for I'm all for free market and capitalism and but this is not good for the competitive balance of baseball in any way.
Well, that's kind of the thing where no sport except for baseball is a free market. So, I don't know. The money in baseball makes just no sense to me. That's like that contract is worth more than like 6 NHL franchises.
Yeah. I mean,
that's fucking crazy.
It was probably Jay Kuda. I'm guessing Jay Kuda. Someone had a stat. The White Sox have only signed like $400 million in free agents ever. But it's crazy. Good for the Dodgers though. I mean,
I fucking hate it, dude. I hate the Dodgers.
I hate them, but like they are trying to win World Series.
I know,
and that's the end.
They're
that's
kind of
all
like
I want.
kind of a failure organization too.
They got their World Series
during COVID. That doesn't count.
It counts.
No, it doesn't.
No, they're model for success. Their minor league
fans
system.
In Texas.
What?
I said there were fans in Texas for that World Series.
Yeah, there were.
Yeah, but they
it's
had
not like it was a total bubble.
Wasn't the playoff because it was outside, but it wasn't at their home stadium.
It was
right?
at the new stadium.
No, it was at the new Texas stadium.
Right. That's
Globe
what I mean.
Life or whatever.
Yeah, it's fucking stupid. That World Series and just like one of the Tampa Bay Lightning's one, like they don't fucking count. How many teams made the playoffs that year? 16.
I don't know, a lot.
Yeah, like that. If your only World Series with like Kershaw and all that whole core that they had acquired,
that's not a failure of a franchise.
It is, Dave. If you have more money than everybody and you get all the best players and you can't win the World Series more than one time, that's
you're
outside
acting
of the...
like it's just a button you push. Like, all right, we win.
It seems like a button for them.
They're pushing it constantly.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I would expect a team that just anytime they're the new Yankees, and the Yankees always won. Like they always won. They always got all the guys, and they always found a way to win.
I mean, they're not going to stop getting all the guys. They're going to keep.
But the Yankees won more. Is my point.
I'm not saying, but I think that the Dodgers will have a stretch where they have 3-5 or something. It might not be for 15 years, but the way the Dodgers operate, it's like the premier A1 top shelf baseball organization in every single facet.
Yeah.
Every single facet.
It's annoying. It's annoying how I don't like it when anybody is so like dominant and they can just throw their weight around and skew.
It's
I don't like it in soccer. I don't like it in anything.
That's why it's annoying, sure, because my team doesn't do it.
But I think that's like the beauty of the NFL is that it doesn't matter if you're a Bengals fan or a Giants fan or a Kansas City Chiefs fan, like big market, small market, because the league is so strong and they share everything. It's just like who's ever the smartest and best organization is going to do great.
I'm just more
Naperville's
annoyed.
twice the size of Green Bay.
Yeah,
I'm just more annoyed that it's not the Yankees doing this.
You want the evil empire back?
That's like I could get.
Yeah, because it's like foo-foo LA douches.
That
instead of
too,
greasy
and like
evil
there is something
Steinbrenner.
about like I don't know. Like I have a hard like. How many times have I watched Shohei even play? Because he's out in California.
fire.
Yeah. Like, obviously, you'll see him more now because they're good. The Dodgers
some surf club got free tickets from a juice bar.
They don't fucking care. Show up in the third, leave in the seventh. They're only going to see 2 Shohei at bats.
You gonna go see him at Wrigley?
Yeah. I
would love to see. This is what I was gonna ask her or say or explain. What the Dodgers make off of him over that contract. Do you think that's a liability technically, or do you think that will end up green on the ledger in 2020 or 2033?
Explain that again. What do you mean?
Well, that's what I want to ask you.
Money off? Will the Dodgers make money off of that? So I mean, even if they make $650 million back and they paid him $50 million,
I've been wondering about this because you saw the Cubs start their own network, and then they also launch an app, like a streaming app for the games too. When's the TV deal up?
No idea.
Okay, I bet you if they have exclusive rights to Dodgers games on their platform, and they can offer a Japanese broadcast and sell those subscriptions in Japan, you probably make money. You got 20 million people in Japan paying $9.99 a month.
When Jerry Reinsdorf, business acumen. You'd think, spending $700 million to make $800 million. You're not actually spending $700 million.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I know.
But it's a long investment, Dave. That's going to sit on a shelf for a while in his pawn shop, and
it is.
It takes a long time to make your money.
Honestly,
back.
that may be his thought.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
but it's not going to be Magic Johnson that's paying this bill, which is kind of funny.
Yeah,
they're gonna sell the team.
Yeah.
They'll flip it.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
You gonna boo him?
What?
You gonna boo him?
Shohei?
Yeah.
No.
If I was a kid, I would boo the fuck out of him. Like back in
were
the
you
day.
a boober guy?
When I was
When
ready,
you feel wronged?
when Beltran signed with the fucking Mets instead of the Cubs, and I don't even know how in the Cubs were, but
Yeah.
I remember being like, "This is
our
Winnie
guy."
Beltran."
Yeah.
I was like, "I'm gonna make a sign that says Moneytron. I'm gonna show him."
Did you get him?
No, I never
Yeah,
did.
waiting for him outside the parking
I
lot.
always,
Yeah.
I booed Mags on his return to Chicago.
Did you?
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
Big time.
I was like, I had like, I hate this guy, like I hate Kevin Durant kind of vibes when he signed with the Dodgers. But then when I saw the number, when it was $700 million, I was like, oh, wow.
Sure.
Never mind.
Yeah.
It's funny too because I was like, everyone was throwing the number $500 million out
You're
there.
right, yeah.
And I think part of that was because it had never been done, in part because it was just a nice fat round number. But I was like, no, what? I think he's going to get like 10 for 477 or some random number like that, and fucking almost doubles it.
I had another very inside baseball kind of thought. I want your opinion on this whole Shohei. How old is Shohei?
Almost 30, I believe.
Right. And so he signed a 10-year deal. He's already had 2 Tommy Johns. When you're talking about, are they going to see the value? Are they going to make money off of this deal? Maybe not. So because of like injuries and age and decline in play and all that kind of thing, which is a bigger risk after you turn 30, I'm wondering if it would actually be in baseball, like in the owner's financial interest, to redo how they do contracts, where like they have all these years of arbitration, nobody really becomes a free agent until they're older.
Yeah. If you hit it in the 20s, you're like a stud.
You're a stud.
Yeah.
Right. But should they so hockey has like a 3-year restricted free agent deal. If baseball did that, so guys hit free agency earlier, but when you sign a guy to a 10-year deal and he's 25, you get him until he's 35, you probably get more value over that time that he's actually under contract than if you sign him at 30 and you just pay him $10 million or for 10 years. Just stretch out the money when like the back end he's not really going to be worth it anyways. I think that's a good idea. I think the baseball, like the owners, are thinking about it all wrong. That they should allow players to reach free agency earlier, so when they sign the big deals, they actually see the value in it on the field.
I mean, the White Sox were doing that. They did that with like Sale and Quintana and Eaton and Anderson and Moncada.
Yeah.
I mean, there's risk and reward with that too.
Yeah, but they gave it to him super early.
Some guys, Moncada was off of 2 years of being awesome though, year and a half. 2018, he hit like 315, and he was awesome.
His good year.
He was 5th in MVP that year, I think.
Yep. He's always a dog, though.
Yeah, fuck him.
Yeah. What's going on with Zach LaVine, though? That's what is that? He's been out, and they're undefeated. Last time I checked,
they just lost, but now they're saying there's no trade market at all for Zach LaVine just because of how much of a cancer he is, and that his relationship with Billy Donovan is completely destroyed, mostly on Zach's end. Go figure. Get him out.
You can't.
Yeah, you can't do anything with him now.
Contract's too crazy.
Well, that's fun.
That guy sucks.
He sucks.
I said I'm just going to openly hate him from now on. There's a weird taboo.
You're going to boo him?
Yeah, definitely. As a person, I'd boo him if I
saw
him at Panera.
Have you been to a Bulls game this year?
This year, no. I think the tides have officially turned as of like 3-4 weeks ago, where like people openly hate him now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just because he's got a terrible attitude.
Credit to me for hating him all along.
Yeah, you really did. She was at the forefront getting ratioed.
2019, no, he's not. He's fucking awesome. I'm like, it was basically the same thing with Moncada. Like, I hated Moncada, just like the look of him, the body language, all that. And people hated me for that. Take 2. The Chief was right again. What do you know?
All right, then. We could wrap this up unless anyone has anything else.
Oh, confirmed. Shohei's contract is worth more than 6 NHL franchises.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like how you're the Tony Reale. Hit me with another stat boy.
Yeah, I'll have to look back, and we'll come back with a stat correction.
Yeah. All right.
Oh,
then.
I have another thing that I've been not hiding from you guys, or from anyone in particular. I might have a gambling guy. I want to know.
Oh.
I want your opinion on the etiquette of how long you have to tail a guy to make sure he's legit before you share with people.
That's a great question, actually.
Because I'm trying to vet this guy. How
long have you been tailing him?
I would say that I actually placed my second bet because he showed me his record. He only bets Big East college basketball. And
you talked about this guy.
did I talk with you?
Yeah. Well, yeah, you told me about him.
Off
and
camera or
he gave
on
you
camera?
UConn, and then they lost.
Yeah, but he's been undefeated since then.
Really?
And I bet last night, we're recording on Wednesday, he gave me like Monmouth against Seton Hall, and it was like plus 11 or something, and Monmouth covered easily.
I think.
So, So do you,
So you're 1-1 with his bets.
I'm 1-1, but since he's like, I think now on the year in the Big East, he's like 17-3, and he's on fire, and he like sends them to me beforehand. So it's like, here's the bet, and then they just always hit. So because I was 0-1 on the first one, I got off, and then I was still just monitoring it, and he was like, this guy hit again. So then I jumped back in last night, and I'm like, let's see if I'm the mush, as Eddie always says, and it hit easy last night. And
I think you're a selfish fuck for not saying anything.
Yeah.
why? No, you said I already told you, and you want me to just? We get a million DMs of people like I'm the best gambler in the world.
You said he's 17-3, dude.
Now he is. Yeah, I had to vet it a little bit.
All right.
So
All right. Well, I'll take his pick. Does he got one tonight?
Creighton
I
already bet it.
Points.
Creighton to cover. I think they're like a 12.5 point favorite, and he's like, I would have taken it up to 16.
Okay.
So
All right.
I almost feel like
hold on. This isn't a guy just tweeting pics like the Bambino, because I still have his notifications on.
this is like, so a kid that I've been in contact with who works for the Chicago Fire is friends with him, with the basketball picking kid, and he's like, you gotta start following my buddy. He texted me, and I'm like, all right, show me his handle, and I'm like, what was his record last year? And he only bets Big East. His record last year in the Big East was 83-57, so pretty fucking good. But it's like, yeah, I could say that, like that's whatever. So then I was trying to vet it this year, and I got in on a game. It was Kansas against UConn. Lost that bet, and he was like so apologetic.
I'm in.
You bet at Creighton?
Yep. Creighton
Okay.
minus 12.5.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I got it at.
All right.
Yep.
Perfect.
Yep.
Wait for the next one.
But what
maybe.
is the etiquette? do you
No,
think?
no. I'm not waiting for
Do
the
you
next
mush
one.
it?
We are all going in on this together.
Was this
I gotta-
proper etiquette? Now do I have to go tell Big Cat too?
I would not. With
This-
Dave and Big Head and them, it's scary.
I know, but it's also Jack McCarthy. Historically, remember that
That's
years
true,
ago,
yeah.
didn't tell him about the guy.
I feel like you don't deserve shame if you personally haven't
up
been
to them to
laying
bet it
down
or
the
not.
bets.
If I what?
Like, I don't feel like you should get shamed if you personally haven't been taking the bets. Like, if you see it, it's one thing. But if once you go 4-1, 5-1, maybe you can start talking about it if you personally put the bets down.
So I'm now 1-1. But since I've been aware of him, he is 6-1.
Yeah,
Let him get
it's
to
time you
10
start
wins.
talking.
Before I tell
Well,
them,
that's out there now. The time was now. You just said it. So now people are going to hear this, and now it's now.
we'll see.
All right.
But that's where it's like, that's where I'm worried where the line is, because if you tell him too early and the guy sucks, then it's like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, I think maybe 10 wins, 10-1.
Okay.
What was that? That's a pretty crazy
All right.
record.
So the fellas on the mid show are all on Creighton today.
We're in.
gotta make a
Creighton. By the
deposit.
time this airs, you'll know if it won or not.
Yep.
It's for Wednesday night's game against UNLV. So sorry, it's not the pick for tonight. I doubt Creighton plays back to back, but
They do
don't
not.
bet Creighton tonight if Creighton does.
The bigger
You want me
story,
to ask
Chief
him
might
right
not
now?
be mush anymore.
But
You want me to ask him if he has one for Friday?
let's wait.
Okay.
All right.
You could tweet it.
All right, everybody. That's it. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Back next week, normal schedule. See you then.